There are many who follow college basketball who would tell you the Badgers' schedule this past season was among the toughest in the nation. And it sounds as though it will be much more of the same next season. Our Ryan Wing sits down with head coach Greg Gard to talk about that, as well as a few other topics. I had a chance to catch up with Erik Helland. He's the man in charge of strength and conditioning. He'll give us an idea of what's ahead for the players as we move on into the spring and summer months. And we'll also look back at some of the memorable moments of this past year. All coming up on this week's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
This is Wisconsin basketball. Stolen by Ethan Happ. Happ to the rim, and he hammers it down with the right hand. He'll drive to the goal and hammers it down. New York City, the Badgers are coming your way. This is left open, snaps off a three and drills it. Out the fourth, the three left of the circle, tie game.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers.
I just picked up the kid for the baby shower.
You know she's having a boy, right?
Need to make a quick switch? We thought about that.
Ciao.
Need a little more room? We thought about that.
Hold on, Jill's texting me.
Need to stay connected?
You have a message from Jill.
We even gave that a thought too. Buick Encore and Buick Envision, part of Buick's 3 SUV lineup.
Get $4,250 purchase allowance on most 2018 Buick Encore models. Plus, current non-GM owners get an additional $4,000 purchase cash on most Encore models.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Hi, this is Coach Greg Gard, inviting you to join the Badger Basketball Booster Club. As a member of the Booster Club, you will have the opportunity to participate in a variety of great events, including pregame chalk talks, golf outings, and an away game bus trip. The Boosters play a vital role in assisting our staff and student athletes through fundraising and sponsorship. For additional information on joining the club, please call 608-265-6161. There's no better way to show your support than to join the Badger Basketball Boosters.
Family road trips just got a whole lot easier. The 2018 Nissan Rogue. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies like available ProPilot Assist, which helps keep an eye on the road ahead and helps you stay centered while you're turning this lane into memory lane. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
Weavers, a pass for Pritzel, covered up by Winston. Brevin, right of the lane, back out to Davison at the top, rotates to Ford, left side, three in the air, good again. Second hit from distance for a lean forward, and we're tied at 38.
How much can you talk about next season's schedule, what you have going on and what still has to kind of go into place?
Well, it's still a work in progress, so we're still not completely, and won't be completely finished with it well into the spring. You know, we have the ongoing series with Marquette. We have the Gavitt Cup Challenge game at Xavier. We have the exempt tournament in the Bahamas at Atlantis, which is an extremely tough field again. Yeah. And we have a return game with Western Kentucky down there. So, and then we'll plug in some other games. Obviously, we have the ACC Big Ten Challenge, which is the one game that we won't know until later, really after the draft declaration deadline. Usually is when they line up the teams, who's back, what teams look good, where they try to evenly pair them. So it'll be well into the spring before we really know a concrete schedule, but it'll be as challenging, maybe more challenging than this year's schedule. So, and now we're adding 20 games to two more games to the Big Ten slate. So, you know, two games that we normally would have are now flipped to Big Ten conference games. So it's going to be extremely challenging.
Before we get to that Big Ten schedule, how much of a strange thing is it playing in the Atlantis? Because you're playing in like a ballroom in a very small gym. How tough is that?
You know, it's not too bad. You got to be careful on any long passes that they don't hit the roof, the ceiling. But we played in there obviously a few years ago, so we're pretty. They do a good job. The group that runs that does a good job of making a very player-friendly environment. It's pretty enclosed, pretty tight. Fans are right on top of you. It's a great experience for our fans to be able to be that close to the action. So yeah, it'll be a very neat experience, and obviously, like I said before, a terrific field. It's going to be it'll be like an NCAA tournament bracket pod with the teams that are there that we'll have to face up against, and we'll find out later this spring. Again, that tournament committee will put together the matchups based on how they feel each team is going to be. You mentioned the 20-game Big Ten schedule. Do you like that? What are your thoughts? I think still to be determined. Yeah. I think obviously I understand on paper what it presents, what the potential is of it, of really boosting the conference RPI even more. But we came through this year, and at the end, as we were kind of combing over our strength of schedule, we ranged anywhere from 4th toughest schedule in the country to into the teens. So we had plenty of meat on our bones, so to speak, in terms of the type of schedule we played. So adding 2 more like that to our schedule, and obviously you don't add more games to your schedule, you have to peel non-conference games off. It's going to make it extremely challenging, but we'll see. I think that's still a question to be determined, and what the impact will be with that as we go forward. Now, coming up this summer, you have Guarding Against Cancer. Just kind of walk us through that. Well, we start with the spring. Our big signature event is May 5th here at the Kohl Center, where we have a huge event, and that'll be the main one. There are going to be various other events. We'll be in the Dells again. We'll have various events that'll kind of coincide or partner with Bucky on Parade. That'll launch here in Madison in the spring. So we have a variety of things going on. We also have a couple events in the works for Oshkosh. That'll be our WIAC opponent next year. So we'll have a Cancer Awareness Day in Oshkosh, and obviously there'll be recognized individuals from Oshkosh here at the Kohl Center when we have that exhibition game next fall. So there'll be a variety of events. People can go to guardingagainstcancer.org or look us up, Guarding Against Cancer, on our Facebook page, and get all the information of various things going on. I've kind of been in the basketball mode, so I haven't really paid attention to what our committee's put together, but I know the May 5th one is going to be a great event here, and it was a huge success last year. And the main, obviously, focuses of this is keep all of our resources at work right here in the state of Wisconsin, and able to really focus our care and our research and our attention to people in the state. How proud are you of the work they've done so far? They've done a terrific job. To go 1.4 million or whatever it was the first year, when really we had about 4 or 5 months to get it off the ground. The response we've gotten has been terrific. Obviously, to be able to partner with the Carbone Center, the foundation, the UW hospital system, and this the state. The state has really put their arms around it because they understand it hits very close to home. And that's the nice thing about this foundation and how we were able to structure it and have all those resources come together, that we don't have to have the money filter through another organization. We can direct it exactly to where the areas of needs are and really try to help people here in the state. And obviously a lot of it's research, a lot of it's at the Carbone Center, but we're also able to directly touch and help patients across the state. And then you have your camps as well coming up this summer? We do, in June. Yeah, they're in the mix of being of a little different format this year in terms of the dates are going to be the same, but with the reconstruction or the new surf coming up, now the NIC, we'll be out of there, so we have a little different we have a few curveballs thrown at us in terms of facilities, but we got a great staff that's working through that, and we'll have a great summer of camps. Obviously, you guys aren't used to not making the tournament. How do you think your offseason will change because of that, if at all? Well, just having the Big Ten tournament earlier threw a whole different set of plans into it. It gave us a week extra to reflect and look back, and obviously has helped us with recruiting to be able to be on the road when normally we wouldn't be able to do that. But I think it gives us an extra 2 weeks of spring workouts. But I think the biggest thing is we've got to, with how we were able to finish, even though we didn't able to play on after the Big Ten tournament, our guys got a good boost of confidence of how we can play, how good we can be. At the same time, on the other end, we have an emptiness feeling, so to speak, that we wanted to have more, we wanted to play in the NCAA tournament, and that's a good combination of a driving force and a motivational factor as we head into the offseason. It's a very big offseason for a lot of players. We have to take steps forward and grow. I think our experience that we got with our younger guys is really going to help, and now it's a matter of hitting the weight room, getting in the gym, and really getting better and using what we've learned, both positively and negatively, to take a step forward as we go into next year. I know you said how tough your schedule was this year. Did you think it was going to be this tough when you came into this season? I knew from an individual standpoint, looking at it, was going to be very difficult. Obviously, with a younger team that's going through a transition, was going to be not probably what you would want to set up for a younger team to have that. It was the accumulation effect of those 8, 9, 10 games in a row during that non-conference stretch. And obviously, within the midst of it, we have the injuries hit that it's unplanned for, unforeseen. You can't predict those type of things. But it was maybe not one specific game, but it was how they all layered together that became a challenge, and it really, I think, forced our group to mature much faster maybe they were ready for. But in the long run, hopefully it really has helped us and provided a benefit for the maturation and improvement of our group.
Coach Gard will be back with the Great Dane Great Question of the Week, the Badger Sports Report with Coach Gard. We'll be right back.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
Always things going on in the world of Wisconsin basketball. A little bit of a downtime, but before too long, it'll be back into the strength and conditioning for the players getting ready for the 2018-2019 season. Speaking of strength and conditioning, the man in charge of that with Wisconsin Hoops joins us now, Erik Helland. I mentioned, Erik, first, downtime is not a bad thing. This has been it's been a grinder going back to the summer, to the overseas trip. It is a good idea to just get the guys away here, at least for a little while, right?
Yeah, no question about it. Well, they really, I always sort of laugh when people think the college athletes are spoiled. If they were to see what we demand of these guys and the demands on their time and the challenges, I think it would be pretty interesting what their reaction really might be, because we had the foreign trip this year, which means that our summer included extra practices to prepare for that. We were gone for almost 2 weeks in Australia, so we didn't have much of a break. So we've really been going pretty continuously for the most part from, I'd say, whatever it was, June 18th or whenever we started the summer session last year. We've gone pretty much continuous through that with no real breaks, no more than a day or two off in there at any point. So you're absolutely right. I think it's physical, but it's also, there's a big mental component to it as well. We go through the season, and you're in town, you're out of town, you're dealing with changing schedules and things of that nature, and these guys, time marches on and they have their academic load to deal with. So again, I think it's quite a challenge for these young men, and I think they handle it really well, but like I said, it is absolutely a challenge.
Coach Gard talked a lot during the season about the compressed schedule and the challenges that went along with that. From the perspective of strength and conditioning, you do this program, these guys, another thing maybe a lot of fans don't know, but they're working out, they're in the weight room during the course of the season, but with the games packed together more, how much did that affect what you were able to do with them in the weight room?
Well, specifically the guys who are playing bigger minutes. I have to account for the stress that they're encountering during those periods. So, and as you know, we were younger this year, less experienced team, and with the injuries that we had, they were pressed into roles probably that they weren't, there was a challenge for them. So I think that was a factor. So certainly we had to account for that probably more than we normally would during the course of the season. Guys who don't play as much, it probably affects them less.
We talked about the young team, so many young guys who had to play here. Ideally maybe before their time, but maybe learned a lot along the way. I'm just curious, Erik, in a general sense, what you would like to see in the weight room, what kind of gains are realistic for players like a Nate Reavers or an Aleem Ford here as they get ready for next year?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think you singled out 2 of our young athletes who need, I think, to make a physical step forward. And it's interesting. I think anybody who follows our programs closely, I've always believed that a young man's development always sort of mirrors their maturity. So as they kind of get used to this environment and the challenges and how they handle those challenges, and I'm talking about taking care of themselves off the court. How well do they eat? How well do they sleep? How well do they manage their time? These guys, we're really blessed because I think we bring so many high character kids in. I never feel like the quality of their work is a huge issue. It's really not. But again, it's quite a challenge, I think, for them to take care of those other factors. And I think specifically, I think Nate and Aleem have to address those issues personally. It's a big part of their growth. You know, their parents aren't there to prepare meals for them any longer. They have to organize that time. They have to make the time to get up and eat breakfast and make sure, you know, they start their day the proper way. So yeah, it's about, you know, taking ownership, I think, of all of these factors, and these are big things before they really take that step. But they certainly, those two, I think, as they physically become more mature, their effectiveness certainly on the court will improve.
I know fans are looking forward next season to seeing the likes of Dimitri Trice and Kobe King back on the floor, see Trevor Anderson on the floor as a Badger. You've been able to see those guys up close. Two of them obviously rehabbing from injuries. Where are they right now, and what have you been able to do with them, especially the injured guys, in still doing as best you can to get these guys ready when the time comes, when the knee and the foot lets them do their thing?
Meach is in pretty good shape, but we have not been able to run him or jump him or do anything like that, but we have been able to train in the weight room. So he'll really jump right in with the rest of the group when we start back in 2 weeks. So I don't have any concerns about him. The foot is great. There's not a problem. There's not a problem there. So moving forward, Kobe has just started to get released to certain activities, so he'll be remedial for a short period of time. But I think probably by the time we get back for summer session, that he'll be pretty much full go with the rest of our guys.
And Trevor, they're going to love watching him, aren't they?
Well, you know what, Trevor is he's a gritty kid who brings a lot of emotion, a lot of character, a lot of moxie to the floor, and I know the coaches love him. We all love watching him on the practice floor and what he brings to that environment. He brings the same thing to the weight room and the training environment as well. He does things with a lot of passion. He's a very, I kind of call him kind of a transparent kid. What you see is what you get, and yeah, he's going to be fun because, like I said, I think he's I think what people, when they look at a typical Wisconsin kid, you know, that's Trevor's really epitomizes that kind of guy.
Final one for you. I know I've asked you about this in radio interviews, but I'm always fascinated. You're 25 years with the Bulls. You have seen about everything that there is to see in the sport. But there's that line that you hear coaches talk about, the best players are the hardest workers. I'd always heard that about old number 23 for the Bulls. Jordan, you were around that all the time. A lot of truth to that, isn't there?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I'm in conversations with the coaches, I think the one thing that kind of keeps coming around to everybody is you can't, what a young man's personality is, or what his commitment or his work ethic is, it translates to everything they do in their life. So whether that's academics, their on-court work, their off-court work, you know, it's very rare that we get a kid who does really, really well academically, but struggles with the athletic aspect of it, and vice versa. So again, like I said, I think our guys do such a good job of handling this experience, but you know, I look at them, and like I said, these are common qualities that are necessary, you know what I mean, where they understand the value of hard work. They know what hard work is. You know, their standard for hard work, their standard for commitment, their consistency of effort and quality of that effort remains high. And it's not something that you have to coax out of them all the time or anything like that. You know, the really good ones are very much intrinsically motivated. So really, it's a matter of putting them in the right environment and giving them the tools and the guidance they need, and usually they take care of the rest.
All right, appreciate your time. You're smart, you listen to this guy. He's been around a long time, knows what he's doing, does it as well as anyone. Erik Helland from UW Strength and Conditioning. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
At Hy-Vee Market Grill, you'll find something for everyone. Steaks grilled to perfection, delicious pasta, wood oven flatbread pizzas, and the burgers are the best in town. Plus, you've got to try our delicious Sunday brunch. And Hy-Vee Market Grills are next to Hy-Vee stores, so it's not like we're going to run out of food. It's good food, good times, and we love to see people smile. So get on into Hy-Vee Market Grill today.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade.
Get over $11,000 total value on a specially equipped 2018 GMC Sierra SLT Crew Cab model when you finance through GM Financial. Plus, get additional $1,500 auto show purchase cash.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant. And They assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower.
You know she's having a boy, right?
Need to make a quick switch? We thought about that.
Ciao.
Need a little more room? We thought about that.
Hold on, Jill's texting me.
Need to stay connected?
You have a message from Jill.
We even gave that a thought too. Buick Encore and Buick Envision, part of Buick's 3 SUV lineup.
Get $4,250 purchase allowance on most 2018 Buick Encore models. Plus, current non-GM owners get an additional $4,000 purchase cash on most Encore models.
Rice, left sideline of the front court. He'll throw to Happ. Happ left of the lane. Cuts into the paint. Out to Ford for three. Left of the circle. Tie game. Aline Ford has hit 2 triples, and they have tied the game on both occasions. The bounce pass to Happ. Moving in on Haas. Mid-post left. Happ moving in. Left shoulder turn up. Right hand good. 2 more for Happ. 51-47 Wisconsin. 2 minutes remaining in Madison. The Badgers have won it. They have knocked off the Purdue Boilermakers, and we have ourselves a court storm at the Kohl Center. Iverson looking and looking to go into Happ. Left of the lane. Ethan quick turn. Low on the left. Goes up and in with the right hand. 5.2 seconds left. This game is tied. Lean surveys. Tosses the Pritzel. Sends it to Iverson off the left wing. In the lane. Slam dunk. Kohl Iverson. Explosive off the left wing and sends it down hard. 13.5 minutes remaining. Shot clock is at 7. Going to need to go to work. Davison crossing over on McQuaid. Step back, long 2. Baseline right is good. Oh my goodness. Brad Davison pulls Wisconsin within 1. Ritzel gets it back. Cowan disrupting. Now Davison has it against Herter. Brad right lane line stops. Out to Pritzel. Up top for 2. Good. Brevin Pritzel along 2. 55-53, Wisconsin with 27 seconds left. Stolen away by Davison. Thought he kicked it, but he didn't. And a lob into Iverson with a 180 slam dunk. Oh my goodness. What bounce from Kohl Iverson. Highlight reel slam dunk.
Family road trips just got a whole lot easier. The 2018 Nissan Rogue. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies like available ProPilot Assist, which helps keep an eye on the road ahead and helps you stay centered while you're turning this lane into memory lane. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
At Hy-Vee Market Grill, you'll find something for everyone. Steaks grilled to perfection, delicious pasta, wood oven flatbread pizzas, and the burgers are the best in town. Plus, you've got to try our delicious Sunday brunch. And Hy-Vee Market Grills are next to Hy-Vee stores, so it's not like we're going to run out of food. It's good food, good times, and we love to see people smile. So get on into Hy-Vee Market Grill today.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the Hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade.
Get over $11,000 total value on a specially equipped 2018 GMC Sierra SLT Crew Cab model when you finance through GM Financial. Plus, get additional $1,500 auto show purchase cash.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Welcome back to the Badger Sports Report. Our Great Dane, great question of the week this week comes from Dave in Oregon. And Coach Dave is wondering, when recruiting junior college, overseas, and transfer student athletes, how does that differ from recruiting directly from high school?
Well, Dave, thanks for your question. There is a difference. All three of them are different, actually all four of them. Junior college is a little different route in terms of transferable credits, associate's degree, all those type of things that come in. So it's a little more difficult maybe in terms of here at the University of Wisconsin from a junior college route. Not that it hasn't been done, but it's usually probably the least path, used path that we go down. Overseas, you have a lot of translation of transcripts. What did they actually take? What track were they in? Were they in a career track? Were they in an academic track or a trade track? And then there's obviously the TOEFL that goes back and forth in terms of the English language and foreign language translation of judging a student's skills. And then obviously with transfers, it's a completely different window. How many transfer credits will come from the other university? Will they put that person at the right track in graduation progression? And there's percentages that they have to meet each year, 40, 60, and so on, percentage towards their degree completion. And then obviously high school is probably the cleanest, easiest path, just because you're dealing just with a SAT or ACT score, and then you're also obviously dealing with the high school transcript. So probably the cleanest, simplest way is that way. Not that the other ways aren't possible, it's just a few more offices we have to navigate through and things that, and they're all a little bit different. But we take looks at all of them, but probably obviously the high school route is the most common route to recruit.
Great question, Dave. Thank you very much. Remember, there are 4 Great Danes in the Madison area: Fitchburg, East Side, Hilldale, and downtown, as well as up in Wausau. That'll do it for this week's Badger Sports Reports. Thanks for watching.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
Family road trips just got a whole lot easier. The 2018 Nissan Rogue. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies like available ProPilot Assist, which helps keep an eye on the road ahead and helps you stay centered while you're turning this lane into memory lane. Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some. A shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one, tilting